We are 1 minute.
Yeah, we must be punctual morning people, huh?
Oh boy. Well, that's 11 o'clock here, so you know.
Oh man. Okay, I guess I just gave it away that I'm not a morning person or something.
I am not a morning person, so but I
Okay,
have.
we are live actually. Awesome. So this feels like spicy a little bit because I have like no idea what you're gonna say. You could come on and maybe be like, I hate NFTs, they're the worst thing ever.
I know. I could say. I know. Are we recording yet? Are
We
we?
are live on YouTube
We
as
are
of now,
live.
yes.
Holy shit. Okay.
So I should probably introduce you. You are David Kitay, and I am so honored. And I've been like talking to tons of people, and so often it occurs privately, and then I feel like, man, like the world could have benefited from this. But you have so many amazing film credits. I've been looking at this. I should actually pull up this list because like it's incredible, actually. The number of films that your music has been in. Oh my God. And
Yeah, I've been
just
lucky.
like great movies that everyone will know. I mean, like Look Who's Talking. Oh my God. Just goes on forever. The Stoned Age, dude.
The Stone Age. Yeah, no,
Oh my
Sheldon
God. Dude,
Kumar,
Where's
Photo
My
One.
Car? Scary movie. I mean,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
actually, uh, for Phantasma people, Ghost World, that's pretty cool.
yeah. Ghost World was cool and a fun project. Really, that was a good project. I have to say.
So,
Nice.
so you've been doing this for what it looks like the credits start like what around like 2000 or something or what was it?
2000.
Okay.
87.
87. Oh my God. I should have left that up. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm that old. Yeah, no, because look
Oh
who's
yeah, look
talking.
who's talking, man. That was
89,
yeah,
right? That was like 89, I
yeah.
think.
Like, can we just pretend that we're younger? Is that cool? Oh
I'd
man,
love
so
to. I never grew up past about 18 or 19 anyway, mentally. So, you know,
nice.
I don't know if it's nice. It just is what it is. That's what I
That's
got.
awesome. But I've been listening to some of your stuff on your website. Obviously, not in any way, exhaustive or whatever. But
No,
wow, I mean, just it's incredible, and your range. I mean, the stuff that you do, it's like, you know, I mean, like I think like a lot of musicians try to have like a style, and they you can kind of recognize them, and they sound like that. But it's like you can do anything, man. It's incredible.
the styles. That can be a blessing and a curse, I think, in a lot of ways. But I did what I did. It's a hard. It's if I would say anything, if there's any composers, young composers listening, I think it's really important to find your voice and try to find a voice than it is to do anything, especially nowadays. It's really important to have a voice. So,
Yeah. Well,
you
yeah. I mean, I don't know enough of your work. I mean, it would take me, I think, weeks to actually study this and be able to form a good opinion. So don't let me, anyone listening out there.
know, no, I got you. It's just one of those things. It's a tricky thing to be able to do a lot of different things and at the same time not have a more solid voice. It's something to really find. So I just recommend that for people out there, especially like I said in today's market, which is a really different market than when I
That's
was.
true. Yeah. That it is true. It is different. So you've been, yeah, involved in music since the 80s, I guess, then, or
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, honestly, I what I how it worked for me was when I was 8, I got a guitar, and that's what I wanted instead of a baseball bat. My mom was an opera singer, and so there was a lot of music in the house. My brother was a player, so then I wanted to be like him. He was 11 years older than me, blah blah blah. And then I got to do session work as a guitar player when I was like 17, 18, 19. I got to work, did some Motown stuff. I got to work with some really cool Motown artists.
Really, really, who did you work with?
Well, I got to work with the Temps and the Tops and
Oh,
Aretha
yeah.
and different people like that. It was pretty amazing. It all happened be mostly, and then James Ingram and
Wow.
Pointer Sisters. And a lot of that happened from Barry Mann, who's an amazing, huge songwriter. He wrote some of the most, like huge songs. And he sort of took me under his wing and just helped me along. And then, yeah, so then I just kept doing that. I was a session player for a long time. And then from session work, I got into wanting to do film scoring. And that's how it started. So I've been in the music world since, God, 1823, I think.
Wow, wow. So how do
Years.
you feel, about this whole NFT thing that's going on?
Well,
what's your
if I,
take?
you know, if I knew more, I would know more. But the one thing I'm concerned about, obviously, is the environmental impact thing. That's the one thing that I'm concerned about.
Awesome.
But, but, and I know you have an answer for that, so I'm curious about that.
Oh
But
man, yeah, I love where this is going. This is great because I mean, yeah, I've been known to be like an environmental lunatic myself. And
most
one
of
of
us
my
people are, most of us artist types and people that work in this biz are pretty environmental.
yeah, I mean, I feel like as musicians, as songwriters, we are, we have that role of, the poet, the prophet, even, it's like
Right,
when we envision a better world, we need to, like, bring that into our music, right? I mean, that's our job in an ideal world, I think. So like, it's like one of my CDs was put out by North Coast Earth First. So you can see where I'm coming from right away there,
yeah,
up in
yeah, yeah.
the redwoods and all that. So yeah, I mean, as far as as far as that goes, Bitcoin and Ethereum is where most of the NFTs are, but it's changing, and it's nice. Those are both blockchains that involve mining, and I don't want to, say that it will never get better, because Ethereum, they have talked about, like switching to a proof of stake mechanism, which is different than mining. Um,
They use steak, like
yeah,
steak.
I wish it was. That would be a lot better. No, it's stake as in like STAKE.
Ah,
Like, so it's just a matter of how blocks are produced on the blockchain, and they incentivize people to process these blocks of transactions in different ways. So with Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's like a war of all against all in terms of computing power. And whoever has the like biggest, most massivest farm of servers, that they have to dispose of all those servers like every year, maybe even every 6 months, to have the fastest servers, and they're all like liquid cooled. There's the air conditioning cost, the
right,
electricity cost, right? And so
right.
like, Bitcoin mining is, they say, using like 0.21% of the world's electricity. And then Ethereum, they say, is equivalent to the country of Iceland.
Wow.
Yeah, just the network itself. And that's because you have all these farms. And I believe those numbers don't actually include the cooling that has to go on. It's just the server power itself. Like
I mean, the
just,
funny thing, I mean, when you think about it, also the other side of that, I mean, I hate to say this, but all of our studios, all of our recording studios are probably powering the small size of Iceland too. I mean,
I
that's
know, that's
still,
funny.
you
I know,
know,
I'm totally talking to you through like an 1176 and stuff.
exactly. I mean,
That's horrible, right?
I
Like,
mean,
I need vacuum tubes to talk to you on YouTube, right?
we are screwed in that department, just with the way the government works and the way they're, just going they're so slow walking solar and everything else because they're, you know, by the balls of, you know, big gas, big oil. I mean, it's still a big part of, and I mean, how we drive a car in plastic, I mean,
I
anyway,
know.
I'm not, I don't want to like give them a pass. I'm just saying there's a lot of shit to talk about.
Oh, I know. And if it was just that issue, it wouldn't be enough. Yeah, it wouldn't be enough. If it was just the environmental factor, because actually there are like wax blockchain is an environmentally friendly option, but something like that is more just like a pure repository for NFTs, right? Whereas Phantasma is something that could actually replace Ethereum. So that kind of gets me like really excited, to think
Right,
that, we could actually have a better system, and so it could actually make like a much more of an environmental impact than just our NFTs being on a better blockchain just for the sake of being on a better blockchain or something.
right, and because Phantasma is more environmentally sound, right?
Right. And yeah, I always say that it's 99.99% more efficient, but it's probably like a lot more nines, because
Wow,
I'm,
that's a lot of lines.
yeah, because there's no mining. And I mean, instead of
Right,
being like server farms, war of all against all, trying to get the highest hash rate, it's literally just like, you have to own 50,000 SOL to be a block producer, and then you have to get voted in. So if someone had high fees, they would get voted out. and then it can just be like a virtual private server, or your own server. So I mean, we're talking like maybe 100 laptops worth of electricity or something like that, versus the country of Iceland. I mean, we're talking like
Right.
a dorm, a wing of dorms in a university or something.
Right.
It's not that much.
Right.
So
I mean, that is the funny thing when they talk about environmental impact, and they don't compare it maybe to other things like dorms and all that stuff too, or even all the virtual stuff that's happening right now, because of all the, I mean, I'm curious about how that's impacting the environment.
oh yeah, like all the virtual reality and everything,
Oh,
or
actually, just the literal virtual thing with regards to the pandemic.
oh well, I think a lot of it's probably having a good impact with less cars and things like that.
That's yeah, that's been a good thing. I know, and I think that might stick for a while. I think a lot of people are going to continue to work virtually, which is an interesting
It does seem
discussion.
to work really well. I'm I'm surprised actually at how well it works for me.
And I've heard
Being in
from,
Iowa.
I've heard, right, I've heard for some teachers in schools that they're feeling that some of their impact is deeper and more solid with some of their students because it's so one-on-one. And it's just been really interesting. That's a whole nother discussion, I know, but
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely.
it's been interesting.
It's encouraged my son to do nothing but play video games, unfortunately. But yeah, you can't win them all, I guess. Yeah, so you have like a ton of intellectual property, I'm assuming, right? You must have just an enormous, I mean, amount of hard drives or whatever. I mean,
Yeah, no, I do. I mean, the tricky part about uh film work is, or TV work is, it's half owned, by the company. But you were
yeah,
saying that doesn't really impact necessarily NFTs because they're not taking the copyright part of it, right?
I love this discussion. And let me just say to everyone watching out there, this is not financial or legal advice before we get into this.
That's right. Right.
But I love this. I love this. No. Okay. I don't know how those contracts work. I mean, honestly, do you have like a publisher that like shops things around for you? Or I mean, I'm just like clawing for understanding here, right?
No, but like obviously if I tried to put up, let's say, something from Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle or something from Scary Movie or something like that, if I try to put that up, I might get a, hey, you can't put that up because that's not owned by you, right? Because it's I created it, but I'm
Mhm.
a co-owner with Fox or Sony or whoever
Okay.
owns that property, right?
So you
So
co-own the sound recording even 50-50 or something like that, or
something like that. I mean, I'm
okay.
not really sure if that, honestly, I don't know. I have to find out if I own the masters at all, but I probably
Oh yeah.
do. Hard to
Oh yeah.
say,
That's
if they
interesting.
actually own the sound recordings or not, because they paid for them. They paid for
Yeah.
the extras and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if if that was part of it. I know they own either part or all of the publishing, and
Okay.
that's usually pretty much where it ends. You
Okay.
know,
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, if you were under contract, that it was a work made for hire or something like that, even.
right,
But
right.
and then maybe in that case, all you would have would be the artist's share of the publishing, I guess. But I'm just guessing there. I don't really know how those deals work, having never done one.
They have all the writers share, right, and then have to give away either all the publishing or a piece of the publishing. That's how it usually works.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
So the
So
question would be like, obviously, if I created a piece of music that was based on the theme of Harold and Kumar, based on the theme of this movie or Ghost World or whatever, you
yeah.
know, would that be, then it would be mine because it would be my creation based on that, right? You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
so that was
Yeah, and
another
I mean,
from an
they shouldn't be opposed to money. I mean, you could always approach the people that own it, I'm sure, and
I would imagine they're not opposed to money.
You might have to, I don't know if they, what they would want or what, but that's an interesting thing. I actually just talked to another band who has gotten their music featured in some films, and what they're doing is giving away the rights to the master to their song. Belladonna, they're an Italian rock band, and they're keeping the publishing, like the entire amount of the publishing, I guess.
Right.
And so that what they want to do then is if it gets featured in a movie, they would just do like a
Another recording of it.
50-50. Sorry?
Oh, then they could just do another recording of it and have it all. You know what
That's
I mean?
true.
I mean, that's a lot of artists did that in the Motown era and stuff. Like they would make another record that was their recordings of those hits, and that way they owned them all. Because they that was just the
That's
I
funny.
don't know an NFT. I mean, what I think would work. I have a lot of famous directors and stuff, and some of them are great artists, like actual, and they doodle a lot on their scripts.
Oh, wow.
Stuff like that. And I would think that might be a really interesting, either a page of a script with doodles on it, or like from an NFT perspective. But what do I know?
That would be amazing. Yeah. And if you could mix it with the actual music from the movie as the soundtrack.
Right. No, that's true too. Yeah. I mean, because NFTs are becoming something that's not just a JPEG, right? It's more of like there's also audio and video. Is there video NFT?
Yeah, you can upload like an MP4.
Anything, right? It is literally anything.
Well, for the locked content, it can literally be anything that you want it to be. There's no terms and conditions, basically. I mean, as long as it's legal, and people are offering strange things already, definitely. But yeah, no, that's an interesting thing. I mean, a movie certainly, and then you could have both the video and the music. And of course, I mean, people right away go to, well, maybe we can include the physical item, so if it was a director's script with a doodle on it, maybe that could be an option or something. I mean,
right.
The sky's the limit. And when you have that personal connection to someone who, with a highly emotional thing like a film or a song,
right.
It becomes very interesting.
Right. Like I was thinking about Clueless has a lot of that, and I was thinking that would be a really fun one to explore with Killing, because she's a great artist. She's a great artist.
The director?
The director, writer-director, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's
and we're good pals. So yeah, so that's one thought. But
nice. Yeah, that would be really cool. Wow. Get your wallets ready, everybody.
Get your wallets ready. Oh boy.
That's awesome. No, I love this. I love where this is going, man.
Is there so it's still blowing up and becoming fairly popular, this whole NFT revolution, eh?
I think it is. I mean, I think a lot of people are kind of getting wrecked on the shores of Ethereum as they try to take the shore or whatever. But I think, people are coming around and they're realizing there are places where you don't have to spend $100 or $200 in gas fees to mint an NFT. And,
right.
They're environmentally friendly, like Ghost Market and that kind of thing. And it's pretty exciting. It's a pretty exciting time because, I mean, there is so much promise there, but, when it's done on this like kind of antique blockchain that makes everything really expensive and clunky, you just can't do the kinds of things like I work with people all the time who are making their NFTs and they make a mistake, right? Or they might realize like, oh, I didn't put a preview of the song, or I wanted to put a YouTube link in there, or whatever it is, and then they could just burn it and start over, and it's no big deal. And so we get people who get really good at this on our platform, like, maybe burn the same song or minted the same song and then, burned it, which is like, it's funny for us as musicians, which, for us burning means like to create a disc, but that's to burn. It's to
get rid of
destroy it. Exactly. Yeah. So they burn the NFT and start over like 8 times, right? And then they got this awesome thing, and people are building like these like infused layer cakes where, because you can do things on this platform you can't do anywhere else, where you can infuse an NFT inside another NFT.
Wow.
So we had one where like someone had 4 tracks, and you had to download the first one and then burn that NFT, and then download the next one, then burn that one. Like to get to the 4th one, you would have to destroy the first 3. So it was like you're like using it up, kind of.
Wow, interesting.
All kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, I mean, and it's stuff that you just can't do anywhere else. and then it's cheap to play around with it and to figure it out, and you can, I mean, you have freedom to embed things in your description in a way that you don't other places. Like we've even got people, I just bought one where there was a YouTube video that was embedded right in the description, or people have embedded Spotify players. So that's, and that's
Oh,
crucial. Like when I buy an NFT, I want to think about like, okay, like maybe I know this person, I'm impressed, whatever, but how's the next person going to know what this is all about, right? So if you
right.
have that YouTube or YouTube video right in the description or a link, it takes you there. You see, oh, this really does come from this person, and I recommend like a link back from YouTube to the NFTs, so that authenticates it, right? Because you don't want someone thinking, oh, this is copyright infringement. You want it to be absolutely clear from the buyer's, the next buyer's perspective, that this clearly is from this person, and not only that, but they're going to promote it, because like if you have a YouTube video that's getting a lot of traffic, and then you have a link to that NFT in that description, that's going to continue to drive traffic 10 years from now, 20 years from now, right? And people are going to get to that link, and it's still going to be active, and that NFT is still going to be trading, and that means a lot to someone who's buying it.
So you've bought some NFTs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've like over 50 in my wallet right now or something, and most of them
Really?
are music. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I spent
Interesting.
quite a bit. I think one of them was the second highest dollar amount purchase on Ghost Market too. There was a music NFT.
Really? Wow.
Oh yeah, I'm a collector. I've got the whole collector bug. Instead of music, I've done a lot of different things, because I'm one of those people, like I always wanted to be a musician. I always wanted to have a life of music, but it just never was financially possible, right?
Right, right, right.
So I always ended up doing something else, but it never really felt like what I wanted to do or whatever. But one of those things was being an eBay seller. And
Ah, got it. Did that lead you to NFTs or no?
it did. It's weird. I feel like this whole journey is like, it's like combining everything I've ever been interested in, and the collectibles thing is a huge aspect of it. So I was a paper money dealer, and this type of paper money that I'm into is like wild, like community currency with art and everything. So it's actually in a way pretty similar to NFTs, because it's like artistic money that people are creating that's backed by like community and art and that kind of thing. So it's
Hmm,
actually weirdly similar in a way.
interesting. Interesting. Wow. Wow. What a concept. NFTs. I love it. I love it. I think it could be great. I mean, I wish I knew, you know, how to proceed, but
Yeah. Well, I'd be happy to answer any questions here live on air as long as they're not too personal. Or maybe even if they are.
well, I mean, I guess I would, I, I mean, that, all right. Cause I mean, I was thinking I'd talk to you personally about it, but really the questions I would have would be just how, the basics,
Oh yeah.
how to mint it, how to, you know, use one of the more environmentally friendly sites. And then I guess the bummer is that once you're in an auction mode, right? Once it's being auctioned, you have no power over what site is going to be utilizing, going to buy the NFT, going to utilize whatever. So that's when you don't really have the power over the environmental part of it, right?
Well,
I'm
as of right now, okay, so Phantasma is all about interoperability, right?
right,
And so that means that soon these NFTs will be able to be transferred to Ethereum and sold on some other marketplace, that kind of a thing. And I'm making sure that the royalties will transfer. That is a huge, huge deal. And so, yeah, it is possible in the future, definitely, that anything that you create as a Phantasma NFT could be transferred to Ethereum and sold there.
right,
Hopefully they wouldn't do that. And I mean, Ethereum people might not like it when I say this, but that is an enormous downgrade when you do that. Because I mean, when you create an NFT on Ethereum, it has a built-in liability, basically in the form of those gas fees. So
right.
anything you want to do to it, transfer it, sell it, even burn it, can cost like $100, right? Even if you just want to get rid of this thing because you're so sick of Ethereum. We've had people like that where they're just done with it, and they can't even afford to delete those NFTs that they created on Ethereum and didn't sell, so that they can do it on Ghost Market, because they can't afford $100 or whatever it is to burn them.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. I think it's just not get into that ecosystem. And I hope that people will, not transfer them that way. I think what will happen is they'll be transferred the other way, because people will realize once they pay the last gas fee they'll ever have to pay on Ethereum for that NFT or to swap it over, then they won't ever have to pay those fees again.
Right. Interesting. And
Yeah.
then in regards to Phantasma, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
In regards to Phantasma, the what am I trying to say? Do they have a, I mean, I'm assuming Ethereum has a certain market view, like people see Ethereum stuff, right?
To a certain
Because
extent, there are a number of marketplaces on Ethereum, and I don't know if there's like a really good aggregator yet. A lot of people have tried, but
I mean, in other words, are all of these sites like Phantasma, Ethereum, all sort of equal in the sense of their ability to be seen, or are they? Is Ethereum a more, since it's so popular, right? A place where more people are going to see it. I'm just
that's
trying to
a
figure
yeah,
out.
that's a good question. I would say that as of right now, I mean, there's different ways to look at it. I mean, not all marketplaces on Ethereum are created equal. So if you're on like the really expensive ones where it's like real exclusive, where you have to be like this famous person, which maybe you could get in, certainly. And if hey, no judgment. If you have Tyler Winklevoss and his billions, or whatever, he wants to hand
Right,
it to
just
you, then
wink us guys, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. If hey, if he wants to give you all this money, then I would take it and buy Soul with it. But actually, Nifty Gateway, that big one, was just hacked. That's the thing. I mean, and so I mean, there is a huge technological price that you pay for being on Ethereum that I think a lot of people don't realize. And a lot of the big NFT art people, actually, that's responsible for the dip in the price of Ethereum, from what I've heard, is a lot of them are cashing out because they realize this is so unsustainable.
Right.
Um, so yeah, a lot of the big winners in the NFT art space are cashing in their winnings. But
Well,
sorry.
if I was Beeple, I'd certainly cash my winnings in and
No
go
kidding.
go live on an island somewhere, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I also feel like if you end up on Rarible or one
Yeah,
of the really mass marketplaces
right.
on Ethereum, you're spending a lot of money to be a tiny fish in a huge ocean of crap.
Oh,
So, not all Ethereum platforms are created equal, first of all. And I think that if it's just exposure right now, I think Ghost Market is huge because you got just such a rapidly exploding ecosystem, and it's kind of the moment when it's hitting the spotlight or whatever. And there's still not that much there. I mean, we still have just over 2,000 music NFTs, and in some cases it might be like 50 copies of the same one or whatever. So it's not that huge of a selection, but there's starting to be a lot of money coming in, a lot of new customers, and yeah, I mean, some crazy interest and things going behind the scenes that I can't talk about yet.
Yeah, and then also there must, so it's similar auction things there, blah blah blah,
Yeah, yeah.
setup or something. I
all
mean,
kinds of auctions. Vincent even created these like Dutch auctions and things that I don't really understand. There's like every option you could ever want. Up to 30 days, you can set the start and end time down to the minute. You can do the fixed price if you want, whatever you want to do, or you can just accept offers. There's a lot of different ways to do it.
I thought I saw that John Cleese thing. That was pretty funny.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Is that something new today? Or
No, I think it was a couple of days ago. He made a picture of the Brooklyn Bridge on his iPad, and he's
oh,
selling it as an NFT for 69 million, blah 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 blah, and 50 cents, like whatever the people want. Just I'll sell you the Brooklyn Bridge for.
that's awesome. He might get it. I mean, that's kind of how this works. It's unfortunate. Like
I get it.
we've got so many serious artists who are like so talented, and it's like everyone's spending 69 million or whatever. I'm not saying people is crap, but well, actually he does himself call it crap, right? His like Instagram or something is like people crap. But, but I mean, it's a lot of weird memes and things that are going for a ton of money.
Yeah.
I,
Right.
picked up some amazing things for not much. I mean, like, I'm almost embarrassed to say, like, some of the deals I've gotten is like, wow, like serious artists who are just so talented in the prime of their career. We just had some artists from Zimbabwe come on. I
Oh,
mean, I was so happy to get some of their very first NFTs. Like one of them, I mean, it was like under $20. Just, it's incredible. And I hope that everyone realizes, like, the kind of deals that are there. And I hope everyone supports those artists because, man, it's a
well, yeah.
huge thing.
The idea of artist support is obviously the really attractive thing about it, right?
Oh, yeah.
That it's supporting artists of all different ilks, all different kinds.
That's the magic of it, because you can make a profit while supporting an artist, and if we don't engage that profit motive, like, if there's no reason to buy this other than to support the artist, I mean, we've always been able to just hand money to people. But the mechanism wasn't there to benefit from it so well.
So there's a really easy mechanism to get on an auction and buy things, and then there's a really easy mechanism to, like, if I were to just get on Ghostwriter or whatever. Sorry,
Yeah, it's a little windy there. That's fine.
not making noise. It's okay.
It's a little
Or,
bit, but well, it's okay. We're doing fine.
right.
So yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy right now. There are like a few additional steps that are going to be eliminated when the credit card payments come in, and that should be happening pretty soon. That is kind of a crucial thing, just to make it really easy, for like mass market adoption. But for right now, the nice thing is I feel like the people that get in now are getting like huge amounts of soul. And so I'm kind of like telling people like, hey, hurry up, because when that stuff does happen and all the pieces are in place, it won't be the price that it is now. It's kind of my feeling.
Right. It'll hopefully move up.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah. So
how has Richard Gibbs done any of his NFTs yet?
no, I would love to talk to him about that. Yeah, absolutely. And I think we'll try to get him together with someone from the Phantasma team or whatever, and because he's going to have a lot to sort through. I think
Yeah, well,
he's
I know he's got those photographs and all kinds of cool things. So
yeah, I would love to see what he comes up with, and I would love to see what you come up with, and I'd be happy to, we could go through the more mundane stuff of just getting a wallet or whatever off the live stream. But yeah, no, I mean, I'd love to help you in any way I can, and I know anyone on the Phantasma team would. And um, I mean, we actually have a great community in the Telegram. I feel like horrible telling famous film composers to go check out Telegram. But
oh,
there's some really great people in there, and the team is always there. That's the thing. Like most teams in crypto, that you just can't even get a hold of them, but these guys are there like almost too much.
what is it? What is Telegram?
Oh, it's this like chat app basically, and there are groups. Like Phantasma has like 6 groups or more at this point. There's the main Phantasma group, which is like they try to keep it clear for people just asking questions and technical assistance. And then there's one for everyone to go riot in. It's just for like price talk and just like the unofficial group, the
Right.
crazy memes or whatever. And then we've got one for music, the Ghost Market music one, that's pretty new actually, and I'm not even sure how many people we have it. And I think it's getting close to 200, and it's only like a couple of weeks old, I think, or something. But yeah, then we've got one for art that's a little more established, and then a regular like Ghost Market one. There's all these groups. And if you get into crypto, like ultimately Telegram is like where you live. And people can like direct message you on there and everything like that.
Interesting. Well, do you have any questions for me as a composer guy? I mean, I'm happy to answer any questions if you want. Just
Oh
so
man,
there's the side of it.
can I
Uh,
can I send you my song? No, I'm just yeah. Richard Pariser keeps telling me that one song of mine that I sold the NFT of, he's like, that would be great in a movie. And I'm like, don't tell me that. I don't have time for that right now.
that's funny.
But
That's a good sale on NFT, right? You did a good NFT sale yourself, right?
I did, yeah. I mean, it turned out to be really incredible because of the fact that it was one of the first ones to sell in Soul. So I mean, at that time, Soul was like, I mean, like 5.5 cents or something, and
Wow.
it was $1,000. I mean, it's more than 10x by now. So
Wow. Nice. Well, congrats, man.
yeah,
Congrats.
thanks. Yeah, no, I mean, to get, I mean, at this point, over $10,000 or whatever for a song for someone like me with like 50 people subscribing to me on YouTube, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's amazing. It's amazing. And it literally just was because you put it up for auction.
I just put it up for sale. At that time, auctions weren't live, so I knew what I had into it as far as like money and time, and I spent like over 100 on mastering and stuff like that, and
Sure.
so I thought, well, I should probably ask $1,000, because I wanted to. Well, I mean, I felt like the way I thought about the price was I wanted to make it low enough that someone might actually buy it, but high enough that if it sold, that I wouldn't feel like I didn't ask enough for it.
Right.
Like
Sure.
I wouldn't want to feel like disappointed, like, oh, I should have asked more or something.
Right. Sure. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of songs and a lot of pieces of music that I write all the time, that I'm actually creating videos for and was considering putting up on YouTube. I don't know. And, but I'm all up into that right now, ironically enough, anyway. So
Awesome.
it seems like it might really coincide nicely with NFTs.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, it should just, like we were saying, just, coexist with your whole ecosystem, right? And the more that it does, I think the better. If people see you promoting that NFT and talking about it in all these other places where your music is available, I think that's a great signal to the buyer, that,
Interesting.
this is going to keep driving traffic and that kind of thing. But yeah. I mean, that's really exciting. I can't wait to get into the nuts and bolts more, I guess, and all that. But yeah, is there anything else that I can answer for you, I guess?
Well, I know that we'll talk about the boring stuff of how to literally do it
Yeah.
personally, right?
Yeah.
So let's plan on that, and then
For sure.
everything else, I don't.
All right, man. Well,
So,
wonderful.
so thanks for this. This is great, and let's hope that it becomes an NFT.
Yes, yeah, I know we should just make an NFT of this interview. This is amazing. I really appreciate it. I feel like it was a very successful experiment. I really appreciate you playing along. It's amazing.
Good. Then, yeah, obviously, I was prepared for any questions about the present day of scoring or music industry stuff, but not. I am so happy to not talk about that stuff. So,
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean,
you
I
know,
probably would embarrass myself if I tried to talk about that.
gotcha. And
Yeah.
and so would I, honestly, at this point, because who knows what I know and don't know about. That's the funny thing about this industry. I mean, I could complain about that there's less melody writing and more, ostinato-y pad kind of writing or whatever in scores, but so much of it is based on what a director wants, what a producer wants, what why it got that way. It's not usually the composer that drives that. So the fact that that's occurring in our ecosystem for the last maybe decade or longer is just, I don't know, it's just an advent of the time. I mean, who knows why. So
Yeah, you wonder. I mean, there's certainly trends, I think, just sort of toward things becoming like cheaper production values or something like that.
right, there's the production value side. I mean, that honestly for me was when I started to lose my thrill, was when I would write because you have to write a score in a mock-up, right? You have to like mock it up in a way where all the fake instruments that are going to be hopefully real instruments later you make it, and so then they hear it and then they go, great, okay, well then we're ready for the orchestra date now, we like it. So but then it started getting to the point where they go, great, that sounds great, we don't need an orchestra date, it already sounds good. And you're like, wait a minute, I don't want to have this put out. I want like an orchestra, like or a real player on it. Where the heart and soul of something, when somebody plays it, all of a sudden it just means so much more.
You just got to yank it out of their hands.
Yeah, so that's been a tricky reality, that things are so much more machine based nowadays. But who knows?
Yeah, it is like that, isn't it? Unfortunately.
It's the world we live in. We live in a software kind of space. So
yeah.
like you and your
Yeah.
NFT. A lot
Well,
of
you know, my NFT, I feel like is as low tech as it gets. I mean, it was just me playing my guitar and singing. I had one microphone. It was going
nice.
into a Universal Audio channel strip, right? And then into the UA Apollo. And then that was it. I had the one track of just me and the guitar into one single, like, it's like a U47 knockoff, you know.
Yeah, of David Bach or which one?
Roswell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cheap. But for me, I mean, it's about as good as I need. I mean,
Well, if anybody out there wants a really great U47 knockoff, David Bach mics are really amazing. They're like, they're $4 or $5 but they're amazing.
Really?
And they're not 25 grand, So
well, maybe I'll have to get one. I think I can afford one now, looking at the price of sold today.
All that NFT money you got, you should go buy one of those David Bach mics.
Really? Actually, yeah, this is the money shot. This is where the interview pays off right here. David Bach. I'm going to Google that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Nice.
He makes beautiful mics, really amazing. So.
Wow. Well, that's great, man. Yeah, no, I mean, that would be incredible to even take it to the next level. I feel like the Roswell's, I mean, I paid like 300. I think it's 400 now or something.
Right.
And I know it has like the Chinese, whatever, diaphragm.
You'd be amazed at what the level of the other one does. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, you'd be impressed.
Good to know. Now they're going to be sold out. I got to hurry.
Let's hope. He would be so happy. That'd be great.
Awesome.
Well, be well, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, David. I really appreciate it. Great talking to you. Thanks for the mic tip. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I would love to continue the discussion about what to do and how to do it.
Absolutely. So, we will talk. I will send you a message. And
great.
It's been wonderful. Thanks so much. Hope to talk to you soon.
All right. Well, good luck.
Thank you.